This laryngitis is going to be the death of me. Hello YouTube, Vlogger Eric's Rants here, and this week my video is about a major incident that occurred in Melbourne, Australia on the 20th of January 2017. So what happened? Well, firstly, a 26-year-old man of Greek descent with a long history of domestic violence, drug abuse and mental health issues, well known to the police, stabbed his brother in Winston in the south of Melbourne. He then got into his car, a maroon Commodore, and started driving extremely erratically, to the point where police had to suspend a chase they had initiated on him. Now normally when this is done, the driver calms down, however this driver didn't. At some point he took a female woman hostage, but she eventually escaped. The 26-year-old man then drove to the corner of the Flinders Street station and Swanson Street and started doing burnouts, or half out of the car, to the point where one person wasn't even sure how he was able to reach the pedals, screaming about the end of the world, apparently. And after one guy attacked the car in a vain attempt to stop it, he then drove away from the area where he had been doing all the burnouts down Swanson Street. He then turned onto the Burke Street Mall, a mall where cars are normally not allowed, and drove through it until he reached Elizabeth Street, at which point he mounted the footpath and started driving recklessly and with no hesitancy into crowds of people, keeping his rampage going throughout Burke Street, even past the mall, and continued until he was stopped by the cops at the 501 outside the RABC club. There was a brief confrontation before gunshots rang out, shooting the driver in the arm. He was then taken into custody by police and taken to hospital under police guard for treatment. This is not being treated as a terrorist incident. 4 people were dead, including a young child, and another 24 injured, including 5 critical, which means the death toll will probably rise. And because of the size of the crime scene, a fair portion of the Melbourne CBD has been shut down while investigations continue. Because Burke Street Mall is very popular, because it is during the summer school holidays, and the time of day that this incident occurred, it is honestly surprising that more people weren't killed and injured. And of course, there will always be reprehensible scumfucks who decide that they're going to use tragedies like this to score political points. In the great storm that took our power to all South Australia, it was Nick Xenophon, that's how you pronounce his last name, Mundane Matt, and Malcolm Roberts. In the case of this tragedy, it was One Nation Senator Pauline Hanson and Liberal Democrat scumfuck David Leonesium. I've almost certainly butchered his name, but I don't give a shit. Of course, Pauline Hanson jumps immediately to Islamic terrorism. I don't know if she's actually retracted that. There's nothing Islamic about it, despite what the guy who claimed the guy looked Middle Eastern and was apparently shouting Allahu Akbar, even though he was really ranting about the end of the world. And David Leonhelm decided to say this. The original comment by the Herald Sun. Breaking. It's feared at least one pedestrian has been hit in the Burke Street Mall by a road car driving erratically. More soon. I do have a couple of issues with this tweet. Mainly they should say road car being driven erratically. You still have enough characters left to add the being and replacing driving with driven. But how does David Leonhelm decided to respond to this? By saying this. Quote, probably one of them semi-automatic assault cars. This is of course about semi-automatic assault rifles, which David Leonhelm wants to allow into Australia by ripping up all gun laws currently in place in Australia. No, David, it was not a semi-automatic assault car. It was a man with a long history of domestic violence, mental health issues, driving a car into a bunch of people. Oh, it gets even worse, because he then goes into conspiracy land, then puts up a complaint form that is mostly used to mock the regressive left. Yes, this scumbag just used the deaths of 4 people for political point scoring. At least Pauline Hanson had a shred of decency to post one tweet sending her condolences out to the victims. You didn't. You should delete your account and resign from politics because of your stupid conspiratorial nonsense. This is a major tragedy. The dude that did this was a psycho, and my heart goes out to everybody impacted by this tragic event. So, that is my video for this week. I hope you found it interesting. Please rate, comment, share and subscribe, and have a great day everyone. And I hope my voice will return by next video.